What the fuck is up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to the fucking weekend. The weekend is here. The weekend is beer and sake and scotch and wine. I don't need any, but in case I drink plenty, don't worry, I'm feeling just fine. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the weekend. It's good to see you. Howdy, howdy. Howdy, folks. It's a fucking GCTV Randomcast. I'm your host, Master Samurai, Darkside Rob, and it's good to be here on Friday with all of you. We made it to another one, folks. We made it. It's a good time. I'm going to change my name. Yes, I'm going to change it from Rob to Darkside Rob. And then from Darkside Rob to GC Darkside Rob. And then maybe I'll just legally change my name to Game Crashers. I don't know. All depends on how sassy I'm feeling at the time. But whose butt? Kojima's? Oh no. That's some Death Stranding butt. You don't want any of that. That might just be a little weird. That might be too weird. That might be the right kind of weird for some. Again, don't judge. I had my dark and stormy. It was good. It was a dark and stormy night. Why did I do that with a Japanese accent? Oh. Divinorium, Carpenter, Renoko, Dark Country, and Trollware, and everybody, and the burner, back burner, burner, back burner, burner, back burner, back burner, back burner. You say it 3 times into a mirror. Rainbow sprinkles will appear in your bedroom. Wait, what? How's my face, Rob Dork? Oh, yes. Okay, so we have a couple of things to talk about. First off, Amber, thank you so much for retweeting the tweet, guys. If you are aware of the tweets that I put out on the interwebs, first off, I'm sorry. You're following me on my personal account. As I'm sure you are aware, my Democratic stripes have been waving and showing proudly these days. And if you're following me on... Sprinkles are also cursed! The burner, back burner, back burner, back burner. How about glitter? It's dangerous to go alone. Here, take this glitter. What the fuck was I saying? I don't even know. Yes, please retweet the twitters all over the internet. Retweet the twitters all over the internets. Sure. Okay. Harry Potter and the Cursed Sprinkles. Dumbledore. Dumbledore. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Ron Weasley. Sorry, anyway. I don't know where else I was going with that. How many drunks are you gonna punch today? I don't know. How many of them are Nazis? How many of them are fucking trash fire people? I don't give a shit. Probably nobody. Probably, I don't know. I don't think anybody's deserved. Not that anybody that I know in my immediate vicinity, anyway. A couple of things I noticed. A couple of things I wanted to mention real quick. And actually, the last thing I'm gonna mention, I'm gonna turn the music off for, because. What's up, 10? How are you doing? For those of you who may or may not have noticed, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the YouTube channel, I did not upload a Robservation this week. I recorded one like 17 bazillion times. And I'll say this. I had a lot of trouble with this one because it got me thinking about a lot of things with regards to casting and with regards to YouTube and with regards to always on information and things like that. So I do have something I want to say about the last thing, before we get into the major Yakuza playing tonight. First thing I want to mention, just something that I've noticed. Twitch has been kind of crazy of late. I know they're doing the name reset thing. I will not be doing that right now. Another thing I noticed, just like not to even make a big deal out of it, but it's just something that's kind of crazy. Like we've had really good turnouts. We've had really good, amount of people following per cast, and that's always great. And then they've been doing this thing on Twitch where they're reclaiming unused names and purging stuff, and it doesn't show up as an unfollow, thankfully. But like, I looked at my follower list today, and I'm like 25 followers down from where I was like even a week ago. Burner, back burner, back burner, back burner. Thank you so much for the host, my friend. The hosty hosts, the hosts with the most. It's always a pleasure. All that means for me is that I gotta just fucking work harder and be here more often for you guys. I'm gonna try to do that, but that's gonna bring me to my final point. Also, wanted to mention real quick, Yakuza. I'm gonna be playing a lot of this. I'm gonna be going Yakuza Nioh, Horizon Zero Dawn. That's probably what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna skip that. Let me go to this song. And one of the reasons I'm going to be doing this game, then Nioh, then Horizon Zero Dawn, is because I think at that point I'll be able to get through most of the stuff that I want to get through, and then we'll go back to some of the other RPG games that I've been wanting to get back to, which includes Skyrim, which includes Dragon Age Inquisition, which includes, you know, a couple other ones on the back catalog. But I want to try to stream more. I'm trying to get back into the 3 streams a week situation, mostly because I want to do 2 music casts a week and a video game cast. Try to keep Friday for, you know, this fucking... Still waiting for Rob to finish Dark Souls of the Damned month. Oh my god, yeah. And that's the other thing. After we do Nioh and Horizon, I really should go back and go through the Dark Souls games. Yeah, it's time, man. It's time, brother. Rob doesn't finish games. I do, and I will, and I can, and I must. I will fucking do it. I will make it happen. Also, Pariah, thank you for the auto host. Really appreciate it, man. But what was I saying? Right. So I have not been casting much this week, and I know that, and I apologize in advance or after the fact, post-mortem, posthumously, post-week having happened, because this was sort of a weird week. I was coming off of a wedding. Monday was a complete loss for me because of the wedding. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I was working evenings, editing and working on a lot of different shit. And during the day, I was writing music. And then the last 2 days were a fucking nightmare. Just basically working around the clock. Next couple of weeks should be pretty good. Hopefully, like I said, I'm going to try to stick to a 3-cast schedule. It's either going to be 2 and 1 or 1 and 2. So it's either going to be 2 music casts and 1 game cast, or 2 game casts and 1 music cast. And the plan being that I'm going to try to continue to push creative casts on this channel, to get both people who love video games and music in the tent, in the hopes that all of this music will be done by April. So then you guys can have an album so that I can start working on the next big music project that I want to tackle, which is not something that I'm talking about just yet, but it is something that I have in the planning stages. So, but you guys have seen me finish games. Like, that's just not even, that's not even true. This is what we call alt facts. I have finished games on cast. I'm never gonna win this argument. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay? I can't keep up. This song sucks. There we go. Now we're talking. Just doesn't remember. What's up, troll? Actually, I guess that brings me to the final topic, because there's not really all that much else to talk about. So I'm gonna bring the camera up here and bring the music out for just a second. So I did want to mention this because I know there's been a lot of people. Where is my little bugaboo? It's not here. Why is the bug not here? Whatever, it doesn't matter. So the one thing I did want to mention real quick, and I'll split this out and I'll turn this into like a sort of Robservation live kind of thing, is, so a lot of people have been talking about, you know, how much, how little, what's the healthy amount, what's the, you know, unhealthy amount that people should be casting or YouTubing or, you know, putting time and effort into things when it comes to live streaming. And as many of you probably already know, there was a report that came out this week about a World of Tanks caster whose name unfortunately escapes me at the current moment, but he was 33 or 35 or something like that. and he apparently did 20 plus hour casts playing World of Tanks all the time, and was doing a charity event, which is good, but apparently, for lack of a better description of it, basically cast himself to death. He went out and he was going to have a cigarette, and he came back. No, he went out to have a cigarette, had a break. His Twitch stream was watching this happen, and then they noticed that he just never came back and assumed he passed out, and didn't find out until the next morning that, in fact, via Discord, via it's Poshy Bird. Thank you, Dark. Poshy Bird was the name of the caster. He trying not to read that, burner, damn it. He expired during the break. Brian, I'm gonna butcher this name. Vignold, I believe is how you pronounce it. But yeah, he apparently was found by police officers who came to figure out if he was alive or not, or they had discovered the body. And essentially, while it is not necessarily been confirmed that casting was the thing that ended up causing him to ultimately expire, the connecting of the dots is that he was he went in, his heart went into arrhythmia because of exhaustion and not sleeping and casting and staying up too long and not sleeping enough, and just not being aware of your own health. And while that is a terrible tragedy in its own right, it is connected to bigger stories that have been coming out both before and after, where you have Kotaku releasing a couple of stories that had to do with not casting enough, and never being able to stop casting, and never being able to take a break because you're always, chasing that inevitable brass ring of casting. And then other articles, one that I saw on... I think there was one that Professor Broman wrote. Then there was a Kotaku article. Then there was another article that a caster Geek Domo wrote, where he basically was doing the 7-day-a-week casting thing and ended up in the hospital having to have a bypass because he had a clogged artery in his heart. And he wrote about the balance between, and pushing so hard that he necessarily ended up in the hospital. And, this all sort of brought me back to my initial idea and my joy about casting, and my reluctance and my reticence to ever attempt to be what, one or people would call a full-time caster. My personal opinion about everything, this doesn't just extend to casting, but to my life, is that everything has a balance to it, and you reap the benefits and the rewards of living a life and working in a situation where things have balance to them. I have watched a lot of casters and a lot of people work themselves sick. And when I read articles about, there was an article that was recently, written as maybe the problem is you. And I read the article, and of course some of it had to do with how much you're casting, or how much you're interacting, or what you're saying, or what you're doing, or if you're working at it hard enough or not hard enough. When I see things like that, and it completely forgets to take into account the fact that your health is more important than pretty much any other part of it, it makes me worried, because yes, everybody should chase the brass ring. Everybody should do what they can to be successful at the thing that they are passionate about doing. But it is important to remember to do so in a way that doesn't end up being a negative force on your health and on your life, and what you're doing, and who you're entertaining, and what you're doing it for. I would never want to put, I'll just say it this way, not to specifically position it around you know, Pashi, right? Did I get his name right? Let me make sure. Not because, I mean, again, it's terrible what happened. But from my perspective, I would feel absolutely awful if in an attempt to entertain and to give you guys a fun show and do something that was entertaining and escape from the drudgery and frustration of the real world, I would feel bad if in my attempt to do that I put you viewers through a situation where you were basically watching me expire on screen. I don't know that I could ever forgive myself for that. So I guess what I say is it's a terrible thing that happened. Of course, my thoughts and my prayers and my emotions and my empathy for what's happened to this caster, to this person, to this human being, and the result, the pain for his family. I feel terrible about that, and it reaffirms my initial feeling about all of this, which is be safe, be careful, do things responsibly, do things in a way that it's fun and it's you're aware of yourself and you're aware of other people, and there is very little in this world that is worth basically bringing physical harm to yourself over. And if you can't do a 24-hour cast, there is nothing that says you have to. And I would just say that when your body is basically saying you need to stop, maybe you should fucking stop and listen to that and respond to it. Because yes, there is part of it that says, you're chasing that brass ring, you want to be successful, you want to make it the best show as often as you can to bring in as much attention to yourself as you can. But we're all just people. We're all just humans. We're not superhuman. We're not designed nor wired nor structured to just to do things in a never-ending fashion. So balance among all things, above all things, is really, I think, important to all of this. And believe me, it frustrates me to no end some days when I can't cast like every fucking day, because I want to fucking be here for you guys, and I want this show to be around for as long as possible for as many people who show up or otherwise. And it's just, I know, and I've seen, and I've experienced, and I've talked to people who have tried it all different ways, and it's always about balance for me in the end. If you can find the balance, then everything is possible. And anything to excess is always the thing that causes the foundation to fall apart, if you will. And so that's really just my thoughts on that. I'd love to know what you guys think. In fact, I'm going to read the comments in the chat. And if you're watching this on YouTube afterward, I apologize for not putting up a video about this sooner, but I've also been recording like 17 different takes of this, and I just figured, fuck it, I'm gonna do it live. I'm gonna say how I feel, because there's a lot of opinions I have about this casting thing, as many of my viewers know, and as many of you know on YouTube as well. So I appreciate you guys hearing me out on this observation. And without further ado, I'm gonna get back to my Twitch viewers, because they're waiting for me and they're telling me, Rob, why aren't you paying attention to the chat? Because you're a fucking terrible caster and you should just give up on it. No, they're not actually saying that at all. They're very lovely, and I look forward to seeing all of you there. But yeah, I'm gonna cut off this conversation now because it's depressing, and go play some video games. I will see you right back there. All right, so that's gonna do it for that, and then that'll be up on the worst caster NA. I know, Robservation. Deckus Vamp, how are you doing? Who else came in? Div, what's up? What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? I want to see what everybody's writing here. Let's bring the music back in a little bit. Why? Look at me. I'm saying things. I know, and you guys are so lovely. What are we talking about? I don't know. Rob is also Steve. Shadowed, what's up, man? Muffin, how are you doing? Pretty sure it's Rob. Rob. If it were Rob, I would know. If I were Rob, I would know. I also remember when MVG was clearly overworking himself. He looked so bad that I sent him an email about it. Glad he seems to be in better shape now. Yeah, and I mean, there's lots of examples. It just can't, like, I would be wrong to, it would be wrong of me to single out any one caster, because everybody's been at that level at some point. I mean, especially when, you know, Twitch was turning into, when JTV was turning into Twitch and people were, you know, sort of finding their footing. Everybody was competing for a very small amount of real estate. So the best way to not have to worry about competing was to never go offline. And I just don't think that's a reasonable way to deal with the situation. I really don't. And I mean, you know, you see people casting for 4 to 6 hours now. 4 to 6 hours is sort of my sweet spot when it comes to casting. And it's just, you know, even then I'm still doing work on the opposite side of it. So even if we were to technically call this like a part-time gig of sorts, like, you have to balance that with the rest of your life. And it's just, I do get the argument that there are people who just want to do this. Like, this is, they wake up in the morning, they want to do this. They go to sleep, they think about this, they wake up the next morning and they want to do this. And yeah. Chicken Hawk, how you doing, man? I ran out of words. I mean, that's kind of why I cut the conversation off where I did, is because I sort of don't have anything else to say other than that. Then it's like, it's terrible what happened, and I hope that, like, I mean, the one thing I didn't say during that thing, which is probably goes without saying, is that, you know, I don't think that it's necessarily Twitch's responsibility to make sure that, you know, casters are casting responsibly, but it would be nice if they sort of were keeping an eye on it, if they were sort of aware of what was going on, and like in the, you know, in some way, because if at some point you get a partnered caster who is going all in and just, it clearly looks like he or she is not doing what's in his or her best interest health-wise, you would hope that somebody would go like, whoa, dude, seriously, maybe this is a good place to take a step back. I don't know. I think, Muffin, I think you nailed it right there. What's up, Corilla? How you doing? If you can sustain yourself and keep yourself healthy while doing it, go nuts. Otherwise, keep a few pain in the butt mods in your channel to help keep you online. That's why I got you guys here. That's why I love you guys. You guys keep me honest. Be pretty easy to set a warning trigger to alert themselves when a streamer is going to pass a certain point as well. Muffin, excellently done. Excellently said. Who needs mods with viewers like these? Exactamundi. So how are you guys doing? Let's have stream talk here for a minute. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, now that I got that ugly business out of the way, how are your weeks wrapping up? Are you guys ready for some video games? I am. I'm really ready for some video games, I gotta tell you. There's been some crazy shenanigans going on. And actually, I would like to mention one other thing. What do you think of those guesses? I mean, I think that's a lot of GTA. I think that's some serious GTA that you got going on there. Grand Theft Awesome! You're sitting on that mountain of cash the whole time. You didn't throw one donation my way, brother. I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding. Pay me. I'm kidding. Fucking pay me. No. Speaking of which, I would just like to say, and I know this is gonna get me in trouble, but I don't give a shit. Twitch, pay your fucking partners. For God's sakes, what is wrong with you? I'm so sick and tired of seeing tweets where people on Twitch are not getting paid the money that they earned using their time to make money on Twitch. Pay your casters. Fucking Christ almighty. And then lastly, I would just like to say, I don't know. I was gonna make a comment about like amateur comedians. I don't want to actually go further than that, but I was gonna say like I get annoyed by people defending a certain internet celebrity by calling him an amateur comedian, and that makes it okay. The fuck it does not. It does not make it okay. Oh, sorry. The fuck it does. That does not make it okay. Dare you send me all of the money, Stringent? Sorry, I'm fixing the microphone. But yeah, it's like I've seen some really stupid stuff being said on the web this week, and I'm just sort of like, I'm a little at my wit's end about all of it, because it's like really stupid arguments and really badly thought out like defenses of things and stuff that people said and the way they did it, and just like, you know, stop being garbage. Stop being ridiculous, people. Like, when you say they're comedians and then there's everybody else. There's no amateur comedians. If you're an amateur comedian, that means you're a bad comedian. That's what that means. That means maybe comedy shouldn't be the thing that you are focusing your pursuits on. Just saying. Like, I think I'm a relatively funny guy, but like I do not spend hours of my day fleshing out jokes that I then stand up in front of a microphone and orate to a crowd. I have seen some of the best of the comedic world perform in front of live audiences, and I'm sure many of you have as well. And when I hear people saying, "Oh, he's even called himself an amateur comedian," holy mother of God, I forgot how loud that was. That is really fucking loud. Shit. Shoutout Mage donated $6.86. That's a fantastic number. Paying you with a smiley face. Mwah! You fucking beautiful person, you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Fucking rock. Shadowed. Oh, man. But yeah, I just like... You can make jokes about anything if you do them the right way. You just gotta do them the right fucking way. Like, it's not that fucking hard. Anyway, all I'm gonna say about that, I don't even want to bring it up, because like, the worst part about that story for me is that like, I even gave that dude a fucking chance. I gave him a chance. I was like, okay, there are people who have been like saying I should give this guy a chance. He's a funny guy. Was that a good joke? It's all dependent upon the wording of the joke and how the joke is phrased. And if it's a good joke, if it's written well, yeah, I think you can pretty much make jokes out of anything. Was that a good joke? But Shadow, thank you for the donation. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you for the tip. Here's a tip for you. Invest in gold. What? Okay. But yeah, Yakuza. I think we should play some Yakuza. What do you guys say? What says you? Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Oh, we're here. Yeah, it's good to see you all. Thank you for being here. I don't know. I give you a 6 out of 10 for that joke. That's a pretty standard. Yeah, it's a pretty standard. Could have been worse, could have been better, but you know, not the worst joke I've ever heard in my days, in all my days. But yeah, happy to see you guys here. Welcome in. Happy weekend. Let's relax. I'm gonna play for a little bit, then I'm gonna. Son of a bitch. If it's on the internet, it's real. What is this? What do we got here? Also, Decus Vamp, thank you so much for the $5 donation. You are fucking awesome. Appreciate it. Holy shit, they're just rolling in. Keep rolling. What is this? YouTube.something.something.something. Do you believe in the internet? What in the fuck is this nightmare? Okay, I've watched like 30 seconds of that and I'm fucking terrified. Thank you for the donation. Holy shit, what is that? Why is she looking off the camera? Why does she only turn into the camera like once every 20? What are I'm so frightened. I'm so scared. Do you believe in a thing called can love bloom even on a battlefield?